Today on Metal and Mortgages, we discuss homeowners insurance,
Alien Sex,
Jagermeister,
and my mom tries virtual reality.
What you doing talk about my mama?
Three.
33. I remember being 33. No, I don't.
Yeah?
No, it's a blur. It's like too far away.
What is
15 years ago, dude. That's a blur.
What's your favorite memory from your 30s?
Kind of just getting on my own 2 feet. Totally. Like that was when I hit 30, 31, somewhere in there is when I decided to just get a job and stick with it. Not have that attitude of I'm just going to quit. I don't like him. He's a jerk, and quit. I was looking for a job when I found this one. That whole attitude. I'm
right.
sure we both own businesses and we've employed guys who have that kind of live that kind of a mentality. And I just decided to, whether I liked it or not, stick with that job, and it turned out to work out good for me. So I mean, my boss, I was working for a good guy, good heart. Saw my efforts, and he compensated me well for them, which allowed me to grow. So I'm 10 years behind, as what I've always said, is I was 10 years late on everything. 10 years late growing up, 10 years late buying a home, all that stuff.
Well, they say guys mature much slower than women do.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think I was allowed to be kind of a free, do whatever I want kind of a kid when I was an adolescent. My mom worked all the time, and my dad really wasn't around much. I mean, he was around. I'm not saying I didn't grow up with a father. I don't have those woes, but my dad was out doing him.
Yeah.
And hanging out with his buddies and going to bars and trying to meet chicks. And my mom was working to pay the bills. Man, my mom worked 12 hours a day. I'm not making it up. 7 days a week sometimes.
I remember when I turned 30, things started kind of falling in place. It's when you start to think about when you get older, and things started to fall in place for me, and just get on a good track of reaching your goals. You know what I mean? But let's see. Unfortunate news. Slipknot, as you know, they put out their new record, or have they? I know they did their first live performance on Jimmy Kimmel. Did you see it?
Yeah, no, I did not. I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel.
I checked it out. It's pretty good. I don't think that's this new single that they're pushing for the new record. I don't think it's as good as albums prior singles that they would put out. I don't think it's as strong of a song. It's catchy, but it's not as strong as, what was that last one that they did?
Antisocial was real catchy.
That was great.
The Devil and I was really catchy. I wasn't a fan of the Vermilion stuff. It was too soft,
right,
for me.
But unfortunately, right after they unveiled their mask and are pushing this new record and did their first live show, Clown's daughter passed away from an overdose in her 20s.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, she was really close to my daughter's age. I think it was. I want to say she was 23, maybe 22. My daughter's 22, so
man,
I kind of felt for him, because when you have a kid that age, it kind of maybe and mine's running wild right now too. So she ain't.
I wonder how they navigated that, as far as, like, I'm sure they have tons of press scheduled and shows and all these things to do, and obviously Clown, as we talked about last episode, has a huge stake in that band.
Yeah.
And so man, I'm sure he would need to take some time off. I mean,
oh, of course.
How would you?
I don't know if he had other kids too, so I don't know. If that's your only kid, that's not that anything would ever minimize a loss like that, or whatever, make it smaller. But sorry, but if that's your only child, that makes it hit even more. And I'm sure he's at an age where he not really doesn't.
Did you see a picture of her? She was pretty.
She was a nice looking girl. Yeah.
Did it say? Did you read what it was, or what she told?
I recall, and don't hold me to this, but I recall reading that toxicology reports were coming back that it was was a potential overdose.
That's sad. Taking out
Yeah,
too
it sucks, man. It sucks. It's I don't know. I don't know if it was prescription medications, what kind of an overdose it was, if it was accidental or if she was partying too hard. One of those things, we don't know. So, I mean, I've partied too. I mean, I was careful when I did, I guess you'd say. Careful as you could be, but
my sister lost her best friend at 19 years old.
Wow, I did not know that.
From an accidental overdose on methadone.
Yeah.
She was just
That's
partying
what got my brother.
and somebody had it and she said she'd try it and she didn't wake up.
Yeah, I mean, my oldest brother was on methadone. He got the kind from the methadone clinic. He's long time addict, and just went through all the different programs and rehabs and all this stuff, and methadone tended to keep him out of the dark alleys,
Yeah.
which, I mean, it still keeps you, fiending for that drug, but it keeps you out of the dark alleys. It keeps you from breaking in.
Yeah, like if you're going
breaking
to
into the neighbor's house and taking their
this.
TV. Yeah, but he mixed that. He was getting, I think it was 200 milligrams a day, which is a lot. That would knock me and you out both.
Yeah.
And he was getting 200 milligrams a day take homes, and he was so jacked up on that he took an oxy, and that was it for him.
Damn.
40 years old.
Evanescence is going to come out with a new record. I think it's been a while for them.
I wish it'd be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I wish they would put out records kind of like Tool.
Yeah. Chevelle is working on a new record. They're about to hit the studio. Are you a fan of them?
I like Chevelle. I like their songwriting. I love dude's guitar tone, man. He's got a really cool guitar tone. Like, I wouldn't want to mimic it unless I was covering their songs, but I love every time I hear his guitar playing. It's really good. I love their mixes. They're all brothers, so I think that's really cool.
I think they lost a member though. I think one of the brothers got kicked out or left or something.
I think the bass player, but he's probably it's like Creed. He's probably back. So
yeah. They had a really cool. I saw them here. When was the last time they played here? Do you remember?
I could not tell you that one.
Well, I saw them here once, and I've never seen a backdrop like that. What it looked like from the stage floor to all the way up in the rafters, it was a giant, like, pearl satin looking sheet with creases and folds on purpose, the way they had it draped.
Right.
And they had lights on it, and it just made it like shimmer, and like it was very simple, but it looked pretty wild.
Well done.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, we only have one large venue here right now for a band like that they could come and play. Everything else would be, a smaller type venue, so they must not have played here in a while unless they played the big, Probst Arena.
Now we are getting a outdoor amphitheater where the mall used to be.
I think we're getting two of them. Because they're talking about adding some kind of a music venue on the south end of town too, where they're building all that.
South end?
Yeah, down there where Hamilton and Hazeland is, where Whitesburg comes out.
That's not going to work.
Well, no, behind all that, where that long shopping center is, that's been there since before I was a kid. I mean, I used to ride my bike to that and go rolling up and down. And anyway, I don't know if they're bulldozing that or what, but that's owned by the Hayes family. They're ridiculously loaded, and they basically let it dilapidate on purpose so that they could bulldoze it and get money from.
Well, the one that's going, the one that's going where the mall used to be, or somewhere around there, is supposed to be bigger than the one in Birmingham, bigger than Oakmount.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be nice.
Oak Mountain was cool. I wasn't a fan of the seats. I thought they were very uncomfortable. But
we're on track to be the biggest city in the state, and what's great about that is, that every time there's a big concert, you got to drive an hour this way or that way.
Nashville, Memphis, or Birmingham, or Atlanta.
Right. And it's cool that we're in a central location. Everywhere we go, there's stuff.
Well, the problem with that is it's like they're here Wednesday night, then they're in Birmingham Thursday night, Atlanta gets Friday and Saturday. I work, man. I own a business. I got to be up in the morning, and I'm too old. I can't. My body won't allow me to go to a concert like that and then get up tomorrow and be able to operate my business.
No, I get that. But the good thing is, though, I think with these new amphitheaters and with the city growing the way it is, they're going to start skipping Birmingham and coming here. So that'll be good. It'll just be right down the road.
I think that's a great thing. Birmingham doesn't really offer us a lot as far as we're not going to pull anything from Birmingham, anything positive. But we're so close to Nashville, and Nashville is music central right now. Nashville is today what LA was back in the 80s. I mean, that was the spot to be in the early 80s.
Yeah, and it's not just country
to be. And then it is, Nashville is what Nashville is now what Seattle was in the early 90s. It's where music's coming out of. I mean, that's Scott Stapp moved there, for Christ's sake to do his music. So that's just one example. So,
Aaron Lewis says, as you know, he's finally getting back together with Stained, and they're going to do a record, and they've got a few shows this year. But he says it's going to be really heavy and brutal, and I know everybody says that when they have an album coming up. Oh, this one's going to be edgy, but I think it will be because he took a long break and just did this acoustic thing. So I'm sure he wants to get back in there and really.
I went with the wife to the mall the other day. And while she was hanging out there at the makeup counter for an hour and a half, I decided to walk around and just hit the only areas in the mall that have things for men. Mm-hmm. And I went through Spencer's, which was almost offensive, honestly.
To you?
Who's wearing you? Dude, I'll say a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to wear it on a shirt. I'm not going to wear that on a shirt. It's just terrible.
You had one shirt when we were in a band together. It said, "Tell your mom I said thanks."
I still have that shirt. And I would wear that if I could fit my fat ass into it.
Yeah.
It's an XL. I'm a 2XL now. I like that room, So anyway, I went into FYE for your entertainment, and I noticed, looking at vinyl, and I noticed that they had a new Aaron Lewis record. There's no price tag on it, so I didn't buy it because I'm not going to pick it up, go up and ask you how much it is. You want to buy it, put a price tag on it, pricks. Just saying, come on. You're hanging out, two of you, hanging out behind the register. I'm the only one in the whole damn store. Mm-hmm. The mall was dead. Everybody was on the freaking river. Everybody was grilling out. I'm at the mall, air conditioning. Hello? Who's the thinker here? All right. So there's two of them hanging out behind the counter, both of them with their phones out. How about, hey, I got a job for you. Price this record. Stupid. Maybe somebody will buy it.
Also, just for the viewers, Bob is not kidding. I've had a boat the most of my life, and I've never been able to get him out on the boat on the water. He will not do it.
Well, there's this little thing that was invented that prevents me from doing all that.
Air conditioning.
Ding, ding, ding. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Well, that's when you dive in the lake.
Why would I do that?
To cool off.
That's disgusting. With the wet winter we had and somewhat mild, it didn't really get that cold. There are snakes everywhere. Even worse now.
They float on the top of the water, and they're in little sloughs and creeks and things.
Have fun with that.
You go out in the middle where it's 40 feet deep, and you just hop in.
A guy died yesterday from a copperhead bite. Oh, jeez. Here.
Speaking about dangerous things in the water, a family in Miami came home to find an alligator in their pool floating on an alligator float.
That's awesome. I wonder if he was trying to like that. I'm gonna pop you when I'm done.
But yeah, so he's just laid out sunbathing on an alligator float.
That's I seen one today, and I think he was. I want to say he was an old man. I know this, like late 70s. He went to grab his iPad, and he opened the case, and there was a bat in the case, and it bit him.
Mm. And rabies?
Yeah, he's got rabies now.
Does he? Foaming at the mouth and all that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I know when I was a kid, one of my friends, Dwayne McCoy, I recall him getting getting rabies from something biting him. You know, we were nuts back then. We used to play in the creeks and catch possums and crap. I mean, I don't know why. I didn't like doing it. I didn't like touching them, but we'd go. They would set cages up and catch them. I don't know what, poke them with sticks. We were retarded when we didn't have PlayStations and shit. So, or the internet.
When we were in a band together, remember we used to camp at that honeycomb campground?
Yeah, one time I got locked in there. I'd explain that to my wife.
One of our neighbors there that had a camper, they had a pet raccoon in a cage, and he would hold it and walk around with it and feed it, and we got to pet
Raccoons
it.
are mean animals, dude.
He wasn't. This one wasn't mean at all.
My mom's got one now. We had set up, Mother's Day was last weekend, I guess it was, or weekend before last. And my brother had hooked her up with this really nice, kind of like a stand with bird houses on it, and then a bird feeder. And we, well, now the raccoon is coming up and eating all the bird seed that falls on the ground at night. I mean, we just turn on the light. We're out there back there, chilling, drinking beer, smoking. And we look out, and there's, of course, we're inside. It's an enclosed patio. And there he just didn't care. We're, saying, get out of here, go on, things like that. We're just trying to see what would rile him up. He's just like, yeah, whatever. He didn't even care. But yeah, man, this dude just opened up his iPad case, and there was a bat inside the iPad case and bit him. Have you ever been a fan of drinking Jaeger? Even, back in the day? I know when we used to go to Willie's, we used to, I don't know about you. I don't know if you ever did it, but me and I think Buck, we used to.
Yeah, we got Buck.
We liked our shots of Jaeger.
Me and Dad got Buck a bottle of Jaeger for his birthday and took a picture behind
it. Was, it was his 1 year. I think it was 1 year with the band.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought it was birthday or something.
I've got the audio for it, and your dad gets on the mic, and he says, your dad is not like a redneck hick, but on that, you're like, hey, we got Rob Buck, we got him a bottle here, some Jagermeister.
Oh,
he sounded like such a goober. I'm like, what? That's not Benny, is it?
We really need to go through those old tapes.
So, well, if you are into Jaeger and you have tons of money, I'm sure it's probably $300. Jagermeisters worked with Slayer to create a limited edition. I think they're doing 500 bottles, 1.75 liter, with a gift box and everything. You can get your name engraved on it and all that stuff. Yeah, Slayer edition, Jagermeister set. I personally am not a fan like that where I'm going to buy something that I'll never drink. I mean, I guess if you drink it, I mean, you can just pour more back in a bottle.
They should have put red food coloring in it.
I looked at it, and from what I could tell, the cross that's on the top of the image is actually regular. It's not upside down. It's not inverted cross, which would be typical of Slayer. They usually use pentagram, but some of their works you can see a little inverted cross here and there.
It's an odd choice.
But now it's right side up. I think thanks to Tom Araya's being born again. So interesting.
The singer bassist.
Yeah, he got born again. I want to say around 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. Interesting. But he's still up there. Auschwitz, the meaning of pain, the weather wants you to die. Okay then.
One more thing about Slipknot. I guess they were grilling Clown in an interview about who the new percussionist is that replaced Chris Finn, and he said none of your business. Yeah,
it's just a hired gun.
Yeah, I mean,
I never knew that band was that way. I always thought they were all band members, like official.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Sad when you mix money into something that ought to be fun, and it turns everybody into dicks, greedy bastards.
It must have been
my property and all this stuff.
Well, it must have been set up that way legally in the paperwork from the beginning at some point.
I'm sure it was. Well, with him being a part of Stone Sour prior to this, and then going back to it after they achieved success with their first 2-3 albums. I mean, it's kind of obvious that he was a hired gun with benefits. Corey.
Yeah,
I think he was like, yeah, I can do that, but I want to cut like a large cut.
Yeah.
Riotfest 2019. They keep adding bands to the roster. I I didn't count them, but from what I could tell, is over 100 bands right now. It's going to be in Douglas Park in Chicago, September. Let me check. September 13th through the 15th. It's going to be Slayer's last show in Chicago.
Shouldn't be too cold there at that
September.
time.
No, that's about the right time to do a a gig like that. But it's going to be the bigs, Anthrax and Testament, Slayer. I saw Blink-182. I saw all these different just a huge, ridiculous list of bands that there was no way I'm going to go through them on the show. But Riotfest 2019, Chicago, Douglas Park, September 13th through the 15th. If you're interested in that, Google it, Riotfest 2019. I'm sure you can get a lot more information out of that than you would me. So, you know what I like?
What's that?
You use the Pluto app, right?
Yes.
Have you caught any of the commercials for yoga studios here in town?
I haven't watched TV in about a month, so.
I hate commercials. I will mute a commercial. I will run through the house to grab the remote to mute a commercial because I hate them that much. They all treat you stupid. It's like they're talking down to you. I just don't care for it. I don't like it. Especially the mattress sales. I'm so sick of mattress sales, dude. We get it. You sell mattresses, and they're on sale. I found one that I actually like.
Yeah, what is it?
A local yoga studio.
Of course.
But it's only good visually, though.
You like hot yoga.
That one's great on mute. Just saying. I don't know if you guys noticed, we have a new set going on here. Let us know if you like this one or the old one. Not that we're going to change it back for you. But, I've doing this because I want to do another show, kind of a spin-off, kind of like the Jeffersons was, kind of like Good Times was. I don't know of any modern day ones, so I can't do any modern day ones. Young Sheldon, that's a spin-off. Anyway, I'm kind of working on another show. Thinking about calling it. I'm going to do this show primarily with my wife. We're going to be clothed, so it's all good. But I'm thinking about calling the show Metal and Marriages.
You were talking about the show in Chicago. There's another one here that my bass player told me about, and it is, what is this called? Exit 111. Let's see. It is in Manchester, Tennessee, so not too far away.
They shouldn't. They need to change the name of that place to be Person-Chester.
October 11th through the 13th of 2019. On Friday, there's Slayer, Megadeth, Seether, Black Label Society, Blackstone
Seether.
Cherry,
I like Seether.
The Cadillac 3, 10 Years. I think I've opened for them. Bishop Gunn, Kyle Shutt, Off the Sword.
If it's not a recognizable name, just forget it. Unless it's a band from here.
Okay, I got you. Good point. Saturday, ZZ Top, Ghost. I'm sure you want to see that.
Hate that band.
Mastodon,
Times of Turmoil.
Cheap Trick.
Hanging out down the
Oh,
street.
wow. Nothing More.
Not a thing.
Nothing More on Saturday. Whitechapel. That sounds familiar.
We're all right.
And then on Sunday, Deftones,
Hello, Wisconsin.
Coheed and Cambria,
Well, we know somebody that'll be at that show.
Lamb of God, Alter Bridge, Ministry, Skillet, Of Mice and Men, Thrice, From Ashes to New.
Yeah, those would be all good shows. Problem is that it's going to be filled with millennials, and well,
Is it?
Yeah.
Dan Akroyd did an interview recently, I believe, in the UK, and he says that, and I always knew, he believes in aliens. He was in a documentary before.
I thought he was an alien.
Where he's seen UFOs and he's talked to pilots and all this kind of stuff. He had a Men in Black experience at one point when he was doing SNL.
Well, they went Flash.
No, he was doing he was doing a show for Sci-Fi, and it was a pilot, right? And he was talking to Britney Spears on the phone about she was asking him to do an SNL appearance with her, and he was outside taking a break from the pilot show he was doing, and he was having all of these UFO people come on the show and all, laying out all this proof and all. And I think he was only in 3 episodes at that point. He saw a black Cadillac pull up. 2 men in black came out, was looking at him. He turned back around. Within a second, the car was gone. They were gone. He walked back into the studio, and they said the show was canceled.
Interesting.
And he said all that happened like boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
And but anyway, that was one of his things that happened to him. And
the Men in Black, I think they're calling it International, is coming out next couple of weeks, I think.
I did not know that.
The new Men in Black, movie. And one of the main characters is, of course, a woman of color. Which is fine. I'm okay with that. But wouldn't that be women in black? Persons in black?
True. Yeah, I mean, when I saw the new Ghostbusters and it was all 3 women, I was like, they're trying a little too hard here.
Well, I mean, they did Ocean's 8 and it was all, women.
Oh, really? I didn't.
That was like 2 years ago, yeah. So, and they used some characters. I think Julia Roberts was in the original, 11, or was it 10, 11, 12, or 10, 11, 13? Anyway.
I think I only saw the first one.
And, well, they were all really good. They were all well done, just clever, but so Julia Roberts was in all of those, and I don't know if I forget if she was a love interest or like a sister to the George Clooney's character or something like that. Anyway, well, she was one of the main characters in Ocean's 8, which was all women, probably the cast of The View or some shit. So. Actually, I heard it was good, but I'm not interested because and it sucks because all this woke crap is just, you know what? I accept all of it. I accept people of color. I accept people of different genders, different, sexual orientation. But I put on a movie to kind of not have to think about politics, and that's exactly what I get in the movie now. I can't enjoy it because all I see is the wokeness and how they're trying to inject it so much into the damn script, like they're forcing it. Just if it's natural, let it be. I've watched, The Devil Wears Prada. I loved that movie. It's a great movie. I'm a guy, and I loved that movie.
Never seen that either.
It was a very well done movie. It's all women.
Well,
it's a chick flick.
Dan Akroyd says that 60% of America is woke and knows the truth about aliens, and he says that they want to have sex with our women. They want our reproductive parts and our DNA. And so
he may be referring to the Anunnaki.
Still on the topic of aliens, the Pentagon finally admits that they investigate UFOs, as we talked about last episode or two. They call it AATIP. And they said they shut it down in 2012, but now they're coming out and saying that they still do it, and it's still AATIP is still active.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, mine is anyway.
It's a slow leak. Disclosure's coming.
Only at the end.
So I bought, as you know, a little while back, I pulled the trigger on a VR PlayStation virtual reality bundle, and it's pretty neat. I've had fun with it. I probably play it once a week or so if I have time. And,
can I come over and update it for you?
There's one, right? There's one game in particular that I had to get my mom to try. And it's called Rush of Blood. And I don't know if you remember, I think it was called Until Dawn. It was like a horror game that came out. I think that's what it was called anyway.
The Rush of Blood is the one that's kind of a carnival, kind of going through dark tunnels on a rail car ride kind of
right.
thing.
And that developer company made Rush of Blood, and so you're in a roller coaster, you're going through a haunted house kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in a couple spots, it did take my stomach.
Yeah.
And there was one spot in particular on one level that made me jump. I yelled. I was like, "Oh," And so
that
I
was when
like,
you bought it, the price tag.
No. And so I had to go. I had to let my mom try this. And so I have a clip of it, and we'll put that up right now.
Oh, that's a deer. I don't really want to shoot a deer. I'm going to deer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! Oh, God. Oh.
The whole thing fell off over here. That's awesome.